You're such an asshole.
Now, I would like to be kind to the client. I very much would. But let me read it. You'll find out how the balls on this guy. The ball. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Hope you're all sitting down. I want a video response. Hey, Cap, it's the 5'5" black male. How dare you be 5'5"? How dare you, sir? You come into my house not being 6 feet tall, thinking you're entitled to shit. Hey, Cappy, it's a 5'5" black minimalist from a leftist crap hole you did a video on called Bachelor Freedom here to ask about what should be my next step. And then you describe, I'm like, oh, I do remember this guy. Yeah, because you're a different cat. You're definitely a different guy. Here's my updated stats. Still 24 years old, still 5'5". Shame on you. What are you still being 5'5"? I don't even look. If you ain't gonna try, man, I don't know what you're. Don't even bother. Still no girls. I still live at home, so I have very few extra unnecessary expenses. All right, you guys ready for this? Hear this out. We get some really interesting people, and I would love to tell you guys what these people do, but I can't because what they do is so unique. It would identify them. Went from 300,000 in assets and 30K in debt to 650,000 in assets and 50K in debt. Asset growth. Traveling debt is placed on the credit cards. Just took my second reconnaissance trip to Tokyo, much better than the first. I will still look over other parts of Asia before buying property, but as of now, Japan seems to have a lot to offer. Yeah, just don't buy near Modern Life John. Don't buy near that asshole. You don't want to hang out with him. He'll come over and want to go get girls or something and get food. As of right now, I'm not sure what to do besides continuing to travel and do reconnaissance in Asia. My parents are fine with it if I decide to stay home or leave. Oh my God. Hang on, everybody. I'm glad I got my sitting down chair. Are you telling me wait a minute. You're telling me your parents are still together and you're almost a millionaire at 25? Imagine that. Your parents are still together. You're a black man and you got a higher net worth than I do. I think, yeah. I wonder if there's anything to that. The parents staying together and people being wealthy. I wonder. It doesn't matter how much money. You're 5'5". It's over. I don't know why you don't even bother trying. Parents are fine if I decide to stay home or leave. We miss each other when I do reconnaissance, but they're happy. Look at that. We miss each other when I do reconnaissance, but they're happy for me. God damn, man. You're old, man, and your parents should write a book. How to be good parents. I like that you guys miss each other, but then they know that you should go. Good Christ. Am I missing anything in my planning? Anything else I should be doing at the moment? Just want to make sure I'm covering my bases. Additional information. Last video asked if I could find someone to complete my orders for me. Answer is no. This is the business. Don't want my family too close to my business, so anyone related is out of the picture. Outsiders are untrustworthy and will quit randomly. Pretty much gave up on dating in the U.S. I'll probably have to pay to get some affection from women. I want Coach Greg Adams style, and I'm okay with that, I think. Yeah, no, you're going to pay either way. Look, you find the girl, the love of your life. Okay, that's one thing. You just want to get laid, pay for it. Why? I'm going to say it for the 18,000th time. You're going to pay for it anyway. You're going to pay for it anyway. And I don't just mean in time and psychology. You will pay financially for it anyway. Your debt is zero interest. Don't make the video. Yeah, this is your job, and I can't. I wish I could tell people what you do, but I can't. And I'm impressed you make that much money selling that thing. That's impressive. So, so here you are. Okay, so the thing is, nothing's really changed. You've just accumulated more money. You're a year older, and you didn't grow another inch. Which we're just going to let you have that life. If you're not going to try, don't. But you're not going to. I can lead you to the water, but if you ain't going to grow tall, I don't know what I can do with you there. But yeah, there isn't anything else for you to do. You just keep on going on, and whereas if you want to find the girls, let's just be honest, statistically speaking, and especially with your opportunity cost, because you make a very handsome income, you don't have, that'd be a good title. You don't have time for rejection. You don't have time for no. If you were like me when I was 25, making whatever, my 15 or $20, yeah, it wasn't even 20, I think like $18 an hour. If I did not have tremendous opportunity costs when a girl said no. So it was just like keep trying and failing, trying and failing, trying and failing. You fail or you go on a date and you're not having any success, your hours come in at least $100 an hour, I gotta imagine, or at least 75. There's real cost. In other words, you can't afford rejection financially. And so I think you are correct in going overseas to more traditional areas where you might find yourself a wife. Although you're also looking at from more a financial standpoint on where to purchase property, so that's good too. I don't know. I'm just being straight with you. I don't know how well Japan and you being black is going to go together. Not even necessarily for you living there, but do girls really? The Japanese, most xenophobic country are fine. Do they even date black dudes? I mean, everyone's very polite. They're civil. They're going to treat you with respect as a tourist. But are the Japanese girls into the brothers? Before you invest a lot of time and money going over there to possibly look for a girl. The Philippines, maybe a little bit more. Southeast Asia, probably. But Japan, before you get your hopes up too much, I double check. But if you're strictly going there for buying property, okay, that's a separate goal, and that's fine. I just want to make sure you consider that before you plant down too many stakes or spend too much time over there. But you're doing what you should be doing. You're going overseas. You're already going to look for other parts of Asia. I think I would delineate between your goal of owning property and then potentially finding yourself a girl that if you want a family, you'd marry and have kids with if you want to have kids. Or just find a steady gal. You don't have to get married. Um, but yeah, you're doing pretty much what you were meant to do. You've achieved cruising speed and cruising altitude, and I think the the thing I would add, the only real issue you have here is this expectation, um, where and you're not the only one to run into this, where you've done everything right. I have a lot of yeah, more than a handful. I wouldn't say necessarily a ton, but you're not the first guy to come to me under 30, no debts, high net worth, house paid off, making good money, and now what? And that's the main challenge in life is the now what. And there's always this temptation to go back to looking for girls because you're genetically programmed that way. That's usually what gave men the kind of their point and purpose and meaning in life. Although some would argue differently that their career, which is true, both of them gave purpose and meaning in life. But I think the concept I want to convey to you and all the other guys that are in your situation, maybe not even as wealthy, but look, you have been given the gift of sentience. You are alive. You are conscious. You are here. And I don't care how many millions or billions, well, maybe not billions, humans around a billion, millions or hundreds of thousands of years of evolution, men have pursued women. I don't care if we evolved from fish and fish pursued female fish. Uh, Today, in this very recent bit of history, we are at an impasse with the opposite sex. Women are not that interested in men, empirically, behaviorally, etc. I don't care what lurks in their hearts, the actions they put forth, the actions and decisions they are making, showing women are not that interested in men. And whereas all of your genetic lineage is yelling and screaming and impelling you guys like, hey, go find a girl, go have sex, go have kids. As I said before, that is not on the menu. And the biggest risk men face is wasting their lives, this one bit, this blip of a fucking existence you get. You all keep wasting your lives trying to order something that's not on the menu. You keep waiting around like, okay, I've done everything now. Now, girls, it's like, no, you don't understand. You have to accept the very good statistical chance, and in your case, even more so, because you're only 5'5", let's be real, that you're not going to get the girls. And just because you've achieved tremendous success in all other aspects of your life, doesn't mean now the girls come. And men, because we're finite, if we were going to live forever and we're immortal, I'm like, yeah, go pine for girls. What does it cost you? Nothing in the grand scheme of things, because you have infinite life. But we don't have infinite life. You got about 78 years, plus or minus, depending on choices in genetics. You don't want to howl at the moon like wolves do, pining and hoping for a girl when you could be out there hustling. Now, you're going through the stages where you've done the hustle. I think you've got your finances pretty squared away, and that's a huge hurdle. That's a huge one. And now you should migrate into the fun part of life. And I've gone to link below is a book called The Menu: Life Without the Opposite Sex, giving both men and women, what should you do without the opposite sex? Because they're forecasting just shy of half of women aren't going to get married. So everyone, both men and women, or at least half of you, have to figure out what you're going to do without the opposite sex. This is a real choice you all get to face. It's an existential choice of Christ you all get to face. But while you're deciding that, I think it would benefit men tremendously to give up the hope. Okay. I think it was Norm MacDonald. He says, I don't care what Obama says. Hope is horrible. Hope is stupid. Hope is painful. You do not have the life expectancy, simply because we're mortal, you're going to die. You do not have the time or the life expectancy to wait around for girls to all of a sudden wake up and oh, okay, yeah, it was just tee-hee, it was just a phase. Tee-hee, no, don't take that. We don't need no men seriously for 50 years. Oh, don't take that affirmative action. So we were just joking. Tee-hee. Oh yeah, now you passed the shit test. You found me out. Okay, now I touch peen. No, based on all the data I'm pulling, looking at all the actions and behaviors, I don't think they're coming back. There's a great movie. Everyone should watch it. I think it's like my third favorite movie. It's called Midnight Run, and it's got Robert De Niro in it, young Robert De Niro, and Charles Grodin, who's passed away, and Yaphet Kotto, who he was the James Bond villain. Very interesting actor. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's got a good cast. Oh, and a young Cypher, Joe Pantoliano. It's pretty cool. Anyway, it's an 80s flick, and Robert De Niro is a bounty hunter who's divorced, and he keeps having this watch that's on his wrist, and he keeps hitting it. And the guy asks him, he's like, "Hey, why don't you get a new watch?" He says, I'll tell you when I get to know you better." And the watch never works. And finally, he says, "Dude, what's with the watch?" And this is like towards the end of the movie. He's like, "My wife got it for me." "Your ex-wife?" "Yeah. It doesn't work because I was always late, but she got it for me, and I hope it works again. Maybe she'll come back." And then Charles Grodin says, "I think it's maybe time for you to get a new watch." And you guys got to stop waiting around. That's time you could spend on literally anything else in life. Anything else. You can, and I list all that in the menu: religion, philosophy, fun, vice. I'm honest to God, if I had to put it together, alcoholism is no joke, but what's a worse life? Drinking and being an alcoholic? I mean, I guess to the degree and severity, or waiting around for something that isn't going to happen. For all the drawbacks of alcoholism, I knew that if I had myself a nice hefty pour of Rumpelmans, it would be cold. It would just burn my throat in a good way. It would keep just the feel right here. I don't know if it's the stomach, but the pre-stomach, between the esophagus and the stomach, it just had this nice warm burn, and it'd be chilled, and my breath would smell wonderful, and I just okay, then you'd be hung over like shit the next day. I get that. That wasn't good, and you might die early, but I'm not waiting around for a train that's never going to be there. I'm not sacrificing my life in other ways and regards. You did get a known quantity. You did get a known value, a drink, and the known price, the hangover that came with it. It wasn't It's sad and pathetic. I'm not accusing you of being sad and pathetic, but it is sad and pathetic. You got, oh, what was the movie? Hinchy? Dog movie, Richard Gere. Hachi, A Dog's Tale. I guess it was so heart-wrenching. Like full-grown men were crying where the dog, I never saw it, but the dog establishes a very good relationship with his owner. I guess the owner died. The dog would always wait for his owner at the train station in Japan. I guess the owner dies. The dog doesn't know, and the dog would keep going back to the train station at the same time to see. But I guess it was even more heart-wrenching than that. And uh, this movie made full-grown men cry. That's what it's like. Maybe I should find the picture of Hachi and just put that up on the thumbnail. That's what it's like. You feel bad for the dog, but it's tragic. It's sad for this thing that you thought you didn't even have the owner. You didn't even have Richard Gere. I guess he dies. I don't know how the movie goes, but at least there was a master at one time. At least the dog had a master. This is just not, I don't think she's coming back, Jack. Yeah, you're right. Richard Gere is dead, or the actor, the character he played. Dog don't know. You don't want to be Hachi. You don't want to be sitting there wasting your life. Mourn, yes. Take the time to overcome it. Go through red pill rage. Realize you've been lied to this entire time. But for your own sake, you have to acknowledge what the reality is. You have to know what you have to acknowledge what the statistical chances of getting a girl. It's not zero, it's just very low. And you need to do either the universe or God, but ultimately yourself, justice. You need to stop wasting your life. And that includes the psychological energy you have at the back of your mind where, just kind of holding out hope. No, we don't have time for this. You get one life, one. And you are doing, my criticism in your case is not you're lying around doing nothing. You're not. You are capitalizing on it. You're doing the best. You're traveling. You're increasing your chances of finding another girl. You have a very unique background. I envy your family life. Please appreciate your parents. Give your mom a hug and give her some flowers on me. But for you have to, even with all the success you've had in, quote, the secular world and not the dating romantic world, you're still paying a price. Like, okay, now what? Okay, now do I get, not that you've said that explicitly, but it's like, okay, now what? And both when it comes to the girls, you don't have time for hope. You should not be paying the psychological price. And now what? And also in the secular, outside of goals and aims, outside of the pursuit of women, and now what? This is it. You're doing it. And maybe you make the shift from hard work and hustle to things that are more fun. And I think you are. You're doing that. You're going overseas. That's part work. That's part fun. Experiencing different cultures. But it's the fun part. It's the I'm going to die. Hang on. There's a book. Maybe I should find this book. Book advice old people do with life. Fourth quarter of your life. Advice from my 80-year-old self about getting older. I don't know which one it was here, but there was a book where they interviewed old people who were about to die, and said, what would you have done differently? And whatever book that is, I don't know. I looked up something. There's several books. It was things like, I would have had more ice cream. I would have worked less. Would have traveled more. Things like that. I think that book, in addition to the menu, should give you a full list of things for you to do. But regardless of what you do and how you choose to spend your life, for the love of God, please pursue it with reckless abandon, with full compliance, with total energy, because that's all you got. Because here's how it's going to break down. Here's what it's going to be like when we're all dead. The distribution is going to be a very 4 in 1,000 couples are going to be happily married. So that's 0.4 of 1%. There will be a certain amount of people married, divorced, married, not happy. I don't know what percent that's going to be, but based on marriage rates, it's going to be a dwindling percent. People are not romantically or sexually satisfied or matrimonially satisfied. There's going to be an increasing percent. I would almost say the largest plurality, the biggest piece of the pie, but not the majority of people will have never been married. No, 45% going forward, and not satisfied with their life because they didn't do anything. And then there was going to be a top 5% of men who would never marry, but they will have not squandered their life. They will have pursued it with reckless abandon, kind of like what you're doing now. And the only goal I could come up with, look, if girls don't want to get married, they don't want to have kids, they don't want to be nice, they don't want to be feminine, fine. The goal then should almost immediately switch from loving wife and children, if you wanted family, to dying with no regret. Where, Rich Cooper, he's got his supercars, right? I got my hiking. You got your, I don't know, do you have a pet? I mean, you're very young, so you're still in the stage of trying to figure out, like, are you a weeaboo? You like anime? I'm not joking. It'd be really cool. Go tour Nintendo's headquarters. I don't know if you're a Nintendo fan, but I'd be like, that'd be pretty cool. Whatever it is through your trials and tribulations, you become you join a synagogue, become a good Jew, whatever, right? That is what you need to do and pursue. So when you die, you're like, nope, I had enough ice cream. I had enough implements. I became a really good practitioner at the Catholic Church, whatever it is. But you also didn't worry about, well, what do I do next? And are the girls coming? Well, maybe, okay, now, no. See a cute girl? Yes, part of not having any regret. You see a 5'2" girl, really short girl, like, hey, how you doing? Absolutely ask her out. See a cute, whatever, Thai girl or Japanese girl, you ask her out. And maybe it works, maybe it don't. But don't dare leave that stone unturned. So that when you're knocking out at whatever, 78, 80 years old, probably 84, 85, you avoid marriage. Like, no regrets, man. None whatsoever. Nope, I didn't squander the life. Because I'll tell you, the worst ones, at least the people who went through divorce and had their life, they knew. They figured it, like, oh, I saw it, the grass was not greener. Matter of fact, it wasn't grass. It was just used heroin needles. At least they know. The ones I'm more worried about are the ones that just stay at home, shoot up whatever, Adderall, pot, booze, drugs, living off of welfare, living at mom and dad's place and not even trying. And then they won't make it to 80. They'll die at like 65 or something. Could you imagine your modern day doomer, zillennial type stereotype at 65 years of age? Could you imagine that? No, not one stone unturned. Let me see. But am I missing anything in my planning? Anything else to be doing at the moment? Yeah, you're doing real well, man. You're doing real well. I guess I would, do you got a bucket? I mean, at your age, you don't know what you want to do. You should be sampling is what you should be going to the all-you-can-eat buffet. And so I'd just be trying different things. You want to pick up cowboy dancing? Go pick up cowboy. You want to try bull riding? Go bull riding. I don't know why, but suddenly you're in Texas. Do you like fishing? Have you ever tried fishing? Do you like hiking? I mean, just try it all, man. And then, go to a lot of meetup groups and along the way, maybe there's a cute girl. Maybe it works out. But men, you do not have the time to be waiting for women to come along. You just do, psychologically or physically. All right, so there we go. Link below is the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. You guys are going to be going through it. Half of you are going to go in the women too. And there's a women's section too, by the way, ladies. You go, what do I do without men? Well, there you go. There is also the book of numbers. If you all keep doubting me on, oh, no, he's just a doomer and he's a pessimistic boomer and he's black pill. Okay, well, you tell me where my numbers are wrong. And then also, if you don't know what to do in life, you say, okay, the girls, I'm not having success with girls. This is exhausting. I don't have time. What should I do? I would almost say the very first thing you should do is not what you want to do, but what you should do, and that is get your finances together. You are not going to waste your time getting your finances together. No one ever had a lesser life because they got out of debt and got their finances squared away and started saving for retirement. So, also linked below is Bachelor Pad Economics. That's the financial advice Bible for men. It's to guide you on all your financial decisions from 14 to death. And so you're sitting there, should I go to the nightclub where it's ladies' night? And I went the past 5 times I went there and didn't get a number, didn't have any success. Or should I sit the fuck down and read this book and set up an IRA online through whatever, Vanguard or Charles Schwab or whoever, Merrill Lynch? I'm just going to say maybe you ought to brush up on finances, go work another job, get yourself out of debt, and then invest wisely and make all the good financial decisions. And all of a sudden you'll be like this guy making $100,000 a year doing his thing. All right, there you go. That's all linked below. Bachelor Pad Economics, the Book of Numbers, and the menu Life Without the Opposite Sex. Wisdo, what's up? $10. Cappy is so right. Guys, please stop waiting. Join the Helldivers today. Become part of an elite peacekeeping force. See exotic new life forms and spread managed democracy throughout the galaxy. USA, USA. Guys, I'll keep telling them I'm going to have to go get that game. AV Lifesavers, the Calm Gadget, guys, $2. Go skydiving. There you go. Skydiving, sure. I'm going to go power paragliding when I get back home. Ken Rose just gives a thumb up for $2. Thanks, Ken. And Ross the Skunk, $5. $1 for each foot of height for Cappy. Thank you. Thank you. I'm only 5'9". Only 5'9". See, let me confess, okay? Let me confess unto you. I screwed up majorly. Okay. Was it a drunken pass at a girl? No. Was it you majoring in the wrong thing? No. Was it that time you really backstabbed your friend? No. I failed you all. I've been a hypocrite. I should have grown taller. I did not put the effort into growing taller. I thought 5'9" was good enough. I didn't think that. I'm even lying to myself now. I just didn't want to put in the work to grow 6'1". That's really what it boils down. I'm confessing. I'm coming clean. I'm telling everybody how I failed you. Then I've lied this entire time. I chose not to put the effort into being 6'1" because I am lazy, because I didn't want to do the work. And that is why I'm 5'9". That is, and look where it cost me. Look how it cost me. All right, that's it. We'll catch you guys later. Toodles.